Good morning, everybody. Chad from Colorado Giants here. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and plastic's out. Yes, finally. Hopefully, we're gonna put on the plastic. All right, so I got my tape measure in my hand. We've got a 150-foot roll of plastic. It is 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's the only time we're gonna do it. There's still a little bit of breeze, but it's just gonna have to be good enough. So this new roll of plastic is 56 feet wide instead of 48, 150 foot long. We're going to cut it in half, tie some tennis balls into it, drag it over, secure it in place, do it again, lock it in tight. So there's really not a whole lot to say. It's pretty straightforward. So let's just get to work. All right, so 2.5 hours later, it is on. We've got, well, both layers are on. We've got them wiggle wired along the bottom, and we're just now fixing to do the first end wall, and then we're gonna front, and then we're gonna do the other end wall. I know you're gonna ask, why did I leave the end walls open first? It's because these will fit, these channels will, because of Josiah Brandt, who's a fantastic younger pumpkin grower in the community. He built a greenhouse, and these channels will fit multiple layers of wiggle wire. They're deeper than channels I've had in years past, so you can fit multiples in here. And if I ever want to take off the end walls, like maybe I have, you know, a guy can dream, can he, that he might have a 2,000 pound pumpkin growing on that end, and a 2,000 pounder growing here, and that one's growing better, and I gotta drive through the pumpkin patch to get at it. If I'm really feeling froggy, I could take off the end plastic on this wall and take down some of the framing and part of the cooler, and then have access to that pumpkin. So that's why I'm doing the end walls second and not first, so I wouldn't have to take off the top and then do it the other way. So it's better, take my word for it. So I'm gonna wiggle wire this end wall in and on right now, and then then we'll do this end wall, cover this with plastic. Then we're just down to one wall left, getting close. Okay, so let's continue with the plastic. It's now Tuesday, May 19th, I believe, and we were able to, on what day was that? Sunday we got the back wall done, and we got both layers of the top done, but it just got too hot. It was like 86 degrees, and as soon as we got the plastic on the top, it rocketed up to like 100 degrees inside of the greenhouse. So we had to stop. It was too hot. I actually had to lie down. I overexerted myself. I'm not as young, and full of spunk, and my stamina is not what it used to be as far as tolerating the heat. So it's Tuesday morning. It's about 7 o'clock. That is all of the extra plastic that we have. We're trying to recycle as much of the plastic they sent before. So this is from the top to the bottom is 15.25 feet. This is like 15.5 foot, so that's a 15.5 foot by 48 foot piece. So that should be perfect. We were going to reuse that, but it had a hole in it, and if I can avoid having holes in the brand new greenhouse, that would be phenomenal. So I am so ready for this project to be done, to get the pumpkin plants in here. I can't put the pumpkin plants in until this end wall is in, because the swamp cooler won't work unless this is pulling out air. if this whole end is open, it's you know, it doesn't work that way. There's no negative pressure getting pulled out of the greenhouse, no air forcibly being pulled through those pads. I have sprayed, I've tried to seal those holes that were in there. I tried some silicone, that didn't work as well as I had hoped. So then I got some rubberized sealer, some like roof sealer, and I put it on the inside of that. So hopefully today, please, we should be able to get it in. We tried to do the plastic yesterday. There was way too much wind. I almost knocked myself off the ladder up here. So definitely don't do this in windy conditions like the directions say. Just don't do it. Don't try it. That was dumb. But I want to get this done. So I really think that this, knock on wood, we've done a lot of plastic at this point. I think we can knock this out fairly quickly-ish, sort of. And then install the fan. And that's it. After that, this mother trucking greenhouse is done. I can't wait. So let me wrangle up my help over there. They're having coffee and kicking back in their lounger chair. So it's time to break the news. It's time to get to work. So stay tuned. So now that the greenhouse is finally, for all intents and purposes, done, I still have one last little bit of soil prep that I need to do that with a rototiller and the help of a shovel, and that is to give my patch the final till. Last time I just did a rough till with the amendments, and you can kind of see there's still, you know, piles of them because I didn't do like a full 2 passes. Which is what I do when I rototill. I go, you know, one way, back the other way, parallel, and then I go down that middle and I mix everything up fully, if that makes sense. So I need to do that, and then I also need to till pretty darn close to the base so I can shovel dirt up to my baseboard. So what that is going to do is help to continue to seal the greenhouse, because the only air that I want coming into the greenhouse is through this wet wall. And you can see down like over in that corner, air is coming in down there. So that's hot air coming into the greenhouse. And over here, that's hot air coming underneath. And I want to stop that. I only want cool air. So I'm going to rototill everything, shovel, and that'll be basically it for soil preparation. As soon as I can verify that the temperatures aren't getting too hot here during the day, we're ready for plants.